what's going on, True Spotters? Justin Fuller, Director of Digital Sales with TrueSpot. Hey, I just wanted to touch base with you about something pretty important that's coming up here in the next month. We are going to be making the move on our desktop dashboard. Currently, it's at dealer.truespot.com. Most likely, that's probably what you're using. We are going to be switching over to lm360.truespot.com. Now, what that means is there's going to be a lot of different features, but it also means the overlay, the buttons, and some of the things are going to be placed differently. And today I just want to walk you through some of those basics so that you don't run into any issues. So let's show you what that looks like. All right, guys, so what you're seeing above me is the current page, right? Or what I would call the old page. We are going to be switching from this. So this is dealer.truespot.com over to this. Right? So makes a little bit more sense as far as going to be able to use this. It's going to work a little bit smoother. But there is a little bit of difference in layout and things, so I don't want you to get transitioned over to this and be worried, right? Not be able to figure out basics. So that's what I'm here to do today, is just walk you through some of the basics, explain some of the differences, some of the additionals that you're going to see and have, so that you know what they are and you can take advantage of them. Okay, guys, so the first thing I want to talk to about this page is just, hey, let's talk about searches. Let's talk about the basics of what we're typically using. So on this page, up at the very top middle, right up here, is where you're going to have that ability to type in those searches. So if it was a stock number, SM312294, whatever the number may be, you can type in that search, and then obviously you can see over on the side, it's going to present you with any options that fit that, right? So if I just wanted to type in 312, anything that lives with those numbers inside the stock or the VIN is going to present here. Now over here, understand that you have a toggle too where you can search through the notes, so you can take advantage of that as well in case there's something you put a note in to remind you about a specific vehicle, right? So this is your basic searches up top. I'm going to get rid of that here, and then I want to talk to you about the far corner over here. And you can see that I've already set up some of the search bars, because over here you can see that in the filters I've got Toyota, I've got 4Runner, and then I've got years, right? So if I scroll down here, you can see that I've set it up for the 2022 to 23 Toyota 4Runner, right? Since we're at a Toyota dealership on the map right now. And then I can even sort by trim if I need to. Now, this is where things are going to get a little bit different, right? Of course, this is going to look a little bit different as far as presentation than what you're used to, but it's in the same similar place. What's different, though, is up here on the map. Right now, I'm getting counts up here, but I can turn on pins. And I've got these quick toggles now to make your life easier. So currently I'm on vehicles. Instead of counts, I'm going to switch over to pins, and boom, now I'm viewing every single 22 to 23 Toyota 4Runner that is on the lot, right? So it makes it very easy to do this from counts to pins, right? The reason this is going to be important is if I clear out all these searches, at the end of a given night, one, I can pull up, see where all my cars are, but more importantly, instead of vehicles, I can switch over to keys, and now with one click, or two, depending on if you're already on counts to pins, I can switch over and see where every single key is at the end of the night. So this is going to make things a lot easier when it comes to that if you're already using this as a closing tool. So just understand that we've added some buttons up top here in the top right region to switch between vehicles and keys, and then of course counts and pins. Now guys, another important part of this is going to be the map view, which you're seeing right now, which I'm going to turn that back to the counts just to make things clean, versus using the table view. Now, how I can show you that is what I'm going to do is I'm going to click into a geofence. So I'll click into this one, right? And it's going to present me with all 211 vehicles, or 18, excuse me, that are living in this feed. Well, I can view this on the map and scroll through here, or up here where you can see this table, I can click on this, and now I'm switched over into the table view. So understand that you can turn that map off once you've run some sort of search, you've created filters, and now I can come through here and look at all those vehicles. And understand that all of these are sortable, right? So if I wanted to sort by days in inventory, I could simply click on days, it'll begin that sort, and now I'm looking at, newest to oldest or whatever the case may be, and I can sort through here and look, right? Versus if I wanted to sort by year, make, and model, or, the vehicle location, or whatever the case may be, even the number of keys, right? So understand that you have this ability to turn that map, the map view on, or turn it back off and go into that table view in case there's something specific you want to do. Also understand that all the notes are here, so if I need to jump in and see a specific vehicle, I can jump in and see those notes very quickly versus having to jump into a specific car, go in, then look at the details on the notes and all of that, right? So this is going to make it a lot easier for you if you need to look through or sort a list. And then of course, like always, you can export this list right next to that map in the table view. I've got a button here where I can hit export, and then boom, I can pull this up and export it as an Excel file, right? So Very easy to understand and very easy to toggle between these two. Just want you to know that we've changed the location of it. So a little bit different location as far as the button you click on, but you can still take advantage of the same feature. All right, guys, so now I want to talk about a little bit deeper into this, right? So we understand the basics to what we're looking at. We understand search is up in the center. My filters are over here on the left. My map, I can do table view, and of course, I can go to this map screen. Across the top, you'll notice that you still have the tiles. They just look a little bit different, right? The one thing I'll say about the tiles, which is really cool now, is if there's a specific tile that you don't use in your position, you can come up here and click on this gear up in the top corner, and you're gonna see it, and then I can hide stuff. Right, so I'm gonna hit hide on this this first one, this vehicle data warning, and then if I hit the gear again up there, boom, now I don't have to see that. So I can customize my specific dashboard for when I open it. And don't worry, if you ever get to this, you go, oh, I need to actually see that view, I can turn it back on. I can click on the view and see that it's there, right, if I just need to view it real quickly, or I can hit the show button and then hit that gear again, and it'll turn this back on. Right, so I can do that with every single one of these tiles that you have up here. All these tiles should look very familiar to you as far as, hey, photos, manual entries, days in inventory, last sightings, as far as a breakdown between keys and inventory, right? And then, of course, one more across, I've got my locations, so I can break this out on keys and inventory based off of the general areas that they're living in, right? The main campus, which you're seeing here, service, which lives down at the bottom of the map, or uncategorized, right? Which could be off-premise or whatever the case may be. So understand that a lot of these are the same, just presentation is going to look a little bit different, right? Now, instead of having multiple tiles for assets, you can see everything all in one. So on these tiles, I can see new vehicles, I can see new keys, and then I can see used vehicles, and then I can see used keys, right? So it's presenting all these to me to where I can do quick math, and then of course my locations if I want to figure out, you know, hey, what geofence is my inventory living in? What geofences are my keys living in currently, right? And then a little bit broader, the categories of where my inventory and keys are living. All right, guys, so now I want to jump into a specific vehicle and show you some changes that we've made. So I'll select this, let's see here. We'll go with this Toyota Tacoma right here. Right, so when I pull this up, it's gonna, of course, show me where the key in the car. I can click on the car, boom, it'll zoom onto the map and show me where it's at. I click onto the key, it'll show me where it's at. And then, of course, over here on the left side, it's telling me, hey, the car is in pre-owned, specifically in rows 2 and 3 for this one in pre-owned green, and then the key is in the pre-owned building at the receptionist desk, right? So I understand that. Now, at the bottom left of the screen over here, this is where you're gonna have some alternate tabs. So the placement of these is gonna be a little bit different. So my first tab is gonna be vehicle details. This is where it's pulling across that inventory information, whether it be from your DMS or your inventory feed. It's pulling the imagery and anything that would show up inside of, let's say, your website, right? Where it's dropping that info in. The next one down is vehicle activity, right? So this is where it's gonna present any records, right? So if I'm checking a car out, if I'm using a disposition. Now, those two options are available to you, and understand they're right up here. They're super small on the screen right now. I'm hovering over them. So the first one I'll click on, this is if I need to leave a message for someone, right? So I go at Justin Fuller, right? And just say, hey, you know, damage to the back of the car, right? And this way in my app, you know, to back of car, it'll give me that notification in the app and on the desktop dashboard. Over here in the top right, I'll have that notification that'll come into me, right? So that's where you can drop in notes, of course, in the first place. The next one is checking out a vehicle. Now, when I select the checkout, I have these options. Now, in this one, it's probably going to look a little bit different from yours, and that's because you can customize this, guys. We can set these up to be anything you want. We can add in things, remove things. So, if there's something specific you want, you know, a specific third-party vendor that you may check out cars and take them to, and you want to be able to notate that in here, know that you absolutely can. Or if you just want something as simple as dead battery, right? Maybe I want to mark that a car has a dead battery, hit it, submit it, save it, right? Now I'll know that that car has a dead battery, and we need to be aware of that once we've notated that on the vehicle, right? So, understand that you can set these things up. Now, when you do this, what's going to happen is it is going to create this red box, which you can see over here around that vehicle, letting me know and showing that it's checked out for a reason. So you can see that Tacoma sitting right over here, and I can understand, hey, that there's something going on with this specific car. So if I was going to show this car or do something with it, I need to be aware of that, right? So now you've seen the vehicle details. We just went through vehicle activity, of course, checking out a vehicle, right? And then, of course, lastly on here, I have recalls, right? So if I need to, if it's going to pull the VIN, if there is a recall notice, it will present that info to you right here. So just be aware that you have that capability to take advantage of. So be aware of your tabs down here. Recalls, the last one. Vehicle activity, we just talked about marking any of those dispositions, checkouts, check-ins, anything like that. So I want you to be aware of that. Right above that, you can see those vehicle details. It's pulling across from your inventory feed or your DMS. And then above that, this is just your tag notice of showing me, hey, where are these tags currently located? All right, guys, so hopefully that gives you some basic understanding. So some of the changes that we've made from a higher level, right? Very, very top end. Now, if you want to check out my next video, I'm going to go over how to assign keys and card tags, right? Because there are some changes if you're doing it from the desktop, and I just want you to understand some of those basics. And then there will be a third video that'll go over, hey, if I need to do admin functions, things like adding in a person to the system, right? Removing people from the system, and looking at some of those little bit deeper things as far as your network, looking at system health checks and things of that nature. We're going to go over that as well.